Si Mila Villanueva de Vera ang tagapagtatag at controlling owner ng Lunaria Bridal Beauty, isang sikat na Filipino luxury bridal brand na kilala sa cosmetics, wedding gowns, at premium bridal studios. Sa loob ng maraming taon, pinahintulutan niya ang kumpanya ng asawang si Adrian na ipamahagi ang mga produkto ng Lunaria. Dahil si Adrian ang madalas humarap sa media, nagsimula itong maniwalang ang karapatang magbenta ng produkto ay katumbas ng pagmamay-ari sa buong brand. Habang nakikipagrelasyon sa influencer na si Bianca Salcedo, inihanda ni Adrian ang isang wedding campaign na gagamitin upang ipakilala ang mistress bilang bagong global ambassador at future creative owner ng Lunaria. Upang malaman kung gaano kalawak ang pandaraya, pumasok si Mila sa production bilang freelance makeup assistant na si Maya Reyes, ang makeup artist na hindi nakilala ng sariling asawa. Nagsimula ang unang babala sa isang kahon ng foundation na walang tamang code. Alas 6 ng umaga nang dumating si Ana Morales sa Manila Heritage Hotel upang ihanda ang makeup products para sa Lunaria Eternal Vows campaign. Siya ang lead bridal makeup artist ng Lunaria at 7 taon nang nagtatrabaho sa brand. Kabisado niya ang bawat shade number, formula batch at packaging seal. Kaya nang buksan niya ang unang set ng products, agad niyang napansin ang mali. Ang foundation bottles ay may Lunaria logo. Pareho ang kulay ng packaging. Pareho rin ang gold cap, ngunit wala ang embossed laboratory code sa ilalim ng bote. Binuksan niya ang isa. Mas matapang ang amoy. Mas malabnaw ang texture. At ang shade name na Pearl Manila 04 ay hindi umiiral sa opisyal na product list ng Lunaria. Tinawagan niya ang production inventory manager, si Rafael. These are not from the approved Lunaria batch. Nasa kabilang dulo si Rafael Cordero, ang campaign production director. Those are updated samples. Updated by whom? The creative team. Product updates require laboratory release. Bianca approved them. Miss Salcedo is the model. She is not product development. Biglang naging malamig ang boses ni Rafael. Your job is to prepare the makeup, Ana, not question the campaign. The products carry the Lunaria name and the campaign belongs to the Vera Lux. That does not answer where the formulas came from. Use what was delivered. Isinara nito ang tawag. Hindi ginamit ni Ana ang products. Sa halip, kinunan niya ng larawan ang batch labels at ipinadala sa confidential compliance email ng Lunaria. Ang subject line, Possible unauthorized product samples at Eternal Vows shoot. Makalipas ang 15 minuto, may sagot. Preserve the products. Do not confront production management. A contract assistant will join your team. Hindi alam ni Ana na ang sumagot ay mula sa opisina mismo ni Mila. Sa isang private room sa parehong hotel. Nakaupo si Mila sa harap ng maliit na salamin habang tinutulungan siya ni Gabriel Mendoza na isuot ang temporary employee badge. Maya Reyes, freelance, makeup assistant, lehitimo ang badge. Sa ilalim ng Internal Brand Protection Investigation, inilagay siya ni Gabriel sa official contractor list. Ang employment record, access authorization at assignment niya sa makeup team ay totoong lahat. Tanging sina Gabriel, Attorney Sofia Villanueva at 2 miyembro ng audit committee ang nakaalam ng kanyang identity. Once you enter the set, we preserve every campaign approval and system access. Sabi ni Gabriel, what about the products Ana found? Preliminary supplier data points to a manufacturer connected to Enzo Salcedo, Bianca's cousin. Yes? Are they planning to replace Lunaria formulas? We do not know yet. And the ambassador contract. Marcos uploaded a draft last night. It has Adrian's approval but no signature from the brand owner. Mila looked at the black uniform folded beside her. In his mind, De Vera Lux is already the owner. Marcus has been feeding him incomplete contract summaries. He still chose not to read the original agreement. You may hear things today that will be difficult. I did not come here to be protected from the truth. Gabriel handed her a small encrypted earpiece. No direct intervention unless there is immediate safety or evidence destruction risk. I understand. Do not reveal yourself during the shoot. Not until they confirm what the campaign is actually for. Pagkatapos isuot ang wig at contact lenses. Halos hindi nakilala ni Mila ang sarili. Karaniwan siyang may mahabang buhok, natural makeup at eleganteng tailored dresses. Bilang Maya Reyes, mas maputla ang kaniyang complexion. Mas makapalang brows at bahagyang binago ang hugis ng kaniyang labi sa pamamagitan ng contouring. Ngunit ang pinakamalaking pagbabago ay hindi sa mukha. Ito ay sa paraan ng pagtingin ng mga tao sa kaniya. Nang pumasok siya sa production floor, halos walang tumingin. May isang assistant na nagturo lamang sa kaniya ng makeup room. New freelancer, put your bag there. Do not touch the jewelry. Walang nagtanong kung saan siya nag-aral. Walang nagsuri kung sino siya. Za backstage. Ang mga taong walang title ay inaasahang hindi mahalaga. Sa bridal makeup room, sinalubong siya ni Ana. You are Maya? Yes. I was told you are from the emergency contractor pool. I have worked on bridal campaigns. Anna handed her one of the suspicious foundation bottles. Have you seen this product before? Mila inspected it without showing recognition. No official batch mark. Exactly. The viscosity is also wrong. Anna studied her. You noticed that quickly. I have worked with product labs. Which company? Several small studios. Hindi na kontento si Ana sa sagot. Ngunit hindi na siya nagtanong. Sa halip, ipinakita niya ang approved Lunaria kit na itinago niya sa ilalim ng counter. I will use the genuine products. If Rafael asks, say the new samples cause skin irritation during testing. Did they? Not yet. Then do not create a false report. Anna looked at her. Are you from compliance? No. But you speak like someone who expects records to be reviewed. Mila opened the genuine foundation. Good records protect people who tell the truth. Bago pa makapagpatuloy ang usapan, bumukas ang pinto. Pumasok si Bianca kasama ang kaniyang sister na si Lorena Salcedo at dalawang stylists. Suot ni Bianca ang silk robe na may embroidered Lunaria logo. Sa likod niya ay may photographer na kumukuha ng behind-the-scenes footage. Why are there only 2 makeup artists? Tanong niya. Your schedule approved too. Ma'am? Sagot ni Ana. This is an international campaign. We also have hair and wardrobe teams. Bianca glanced at Mila. Who is she? Maya Reyes? Contract assistant. Is she experienced? Mila lowered her head. Yes, ma'am. Bianca walked closer and lifted her chin with one finger. I do not want a provincial salon face appearing in my behind-the-scenes footage. Lorena laughed. Keep her masked. Mila remained still. Anna's expression tightened. We need both artists for the look changes. Then make sure she stays behind me. Bianca sat in front of the mirror. Today must look perfect. This is not just another campaign. What is it? Then tanong ni Ana. Lorena answered while checking her tablet. A new era. She opened the campaign mood board. The original title was Lunaria Eternal Vows, a celebration of Filipino bridal beauty. But that phrase had been crossed out. The new heading read, The Couple Behind Lunaria's New Era. Sa gitna ng layout ay larawan ni Adrian at Bianca na magkaharap na parang tunay na bride and groom. Where is the product focus? Tanong ni Ana. People no longer buy lipstick, sabi ni Bianca. They buy aspiration. The campaign was approved as a bridal beauty launch. It has evolved. Who approved the change? Bianca looked at her through the mirror. Adrian? And the founder. A slight smile appeared on Bianca's face. The founder is no longer relevant. Tahimik na binuksan ni Mila ang makeup brushes. Ilang taon niyang binuo ang lunarya mula sa maliit na laboratorio ng kanyang ina. Siya ang nag-test ng unang long-wear bridal lipstick sa init ng Quezon City. Siya ang nagtrabaho kasama ang mga Filipino designers upang lumikha ng wedding collection na moderno ngunit may lokal na detalye. Ngayon, sa isang silid na puno ng kanyang mga produkto, sinabi ng mistress ng kanyang asawa na hindi na mahalaga ang founder. Sa kabilang bahagi ng hotel, dumating si Adrian kasama si Marcos Tejada at Rafael Cordero. May media consultant na sumunod sa kanila, dala ang press schedule. Is the evening announcement ready? Tanong ni Adrian. Yes. Sagot ni Lorena. The gala screens will reveal Bianca as Global Ambassador and Creative Director. Creative Director, tanong ni Rafael. The campaign approval only says Ambassador. Marcos answered. The board package has been updated. Which board? De Luxe. Lunaria brand appointments require Villanueva approval. Marcos gave him a sharp look. Not after the restructuring. Rafael hesitated. I have not seen the completed acquisition. You do not need to see corporate documents to direct the shoot. Sa makeup room, narinig ni Mila ang kanilang pag-uusap mula sa bahagyang nakabukas na pinto. Adrian entered a few seconds later. Nang makita niya si Bianca sa harap ng salamin, ngumiti siya. You look like the face of Lunaria. Bianca extended one hand. And tonight? Tonight everyone will know? Mila stood only 2 steps away. Ang lalaking iyon ay ang kanyang asawa sa loob ng 9 na taon. Kabisado niya ang tunog ng paghinga nito kapag pagod. Kabisado niya ang paraan nitong inaayos ang cuff kapag kinakabahan. Ngunit nang tumingin ito sa kaniya, walang kahit anong pagkilala sa mga mata nito. Are you finished? Tanong ni Adrian. Almost. Sir. Sagot ni Mila sa mahinang boses ni Maya. Do not overdo the makeup. Bianca should look expensive. Not artificial. Yes? Sir. Bianca laughed. She probably does not know the difference. Adrian smiled. People like her only follow instructions. Sa sandaling iyon, naunawaan ni Mila kung bakit napakadali para sa kanila ang magplano sa harap ng staff. Hindi nila iniisip na maaaring may sariling isip ang mga tao sa backstage. Para sa kanila, ang makeup artist ay kamay lamang. Ang assistant ay tenga na walang memorya. Ang empleyado ay taong walang kakayahang makaapekto sa desisyon. Matapos ang first makeup look, dinala si Bianca sa wardrobe room. Nandoon ang pangunahing wedding gown ng Lunaria Collection. Ang damit ay ginawa ng Filipina designer na si Elena Marquez sa ilalim ng Limited Creative License. Ayon sa kontrata, kailangan ang personal approval ni Mila para gamitin ang gown sa anumang campaign na nagpapahiwatig ng totoong kasal o engagement. Ngunit walang approval request na dumating sa kaniya. Habang inaayos ng wardrobe team ang gown, tinanong ni Mila ang stylist. Do we have the designer release? Lorena said it is covered by the brand agreement. Where is the document? Why do you care? For product notes. The stylist pointed toward the folder. Nang walang nakatingin, sinilip ni Mila ang release page. May scanned signature sa ilalim ng pangalan niya. Camila Villanueva de Vera. Peke ito. Ang tunay niyang pirma ay may maliit na break sa pagitan ng V at D. Ang nasa dokumento ay tuloy-tuloy. Kinunan niya ito gamit ang evidence application sa contractor phone na ibinigay ni Gabriel. Hindi lamang sila gumagamit ng brand ng walang pahintulot. Ginagamit nila ang kanyang pirma upang palabasing pumayag siya. Sa rooftop set, naghanda ang produksyon ng isang kumpletong wedding ceremony. May floral arch, may aisle, may table para sa rings, at may actor na nakasuot bilang officiant. Kahit wala ito sa orihinal na campaign plan, lumapit si Anna kay Mila. This is no longer a beauty shoot. No. They are staging an engagement. Maybe more than that. Sa script monitor, mababasa ang dialogue ni Adrian at Bianca. Adrian, you are the woman I choose for the future of Lunaria. Bianca, and I promise to protect the name we will build together. Tinanggal ang salitang models. Tinanggal din ang product descriptions. Sa halip, ang buong eksena ay parang public declaration ng kanilang relasyon. Lumapit si Rafael sa crew. No personal phones. No one records the contract pages or control room screens. Why, tanong ng isang assistant? Confidential acquisition announcement. What acquisition? Rafael looked toward Marcos. The Veralux will announce full control of Lunaria tonight. Sa likod ng face mask, nanigas ang panga ni Mila. Walang acquisition. Walang full control. May distribution license lamang ang De Veralux. Pero sa gabing iyon, balak nilang gumamit ng ilaw, media at staged wedding upang gawing mukhang totoo ang isang legal na kasinungalingan. Nagsimula ang shoot. Naglakad si Bianca sa aisle habang naghihintay si Adrian sa ilalim ng floral arch. Lumapit sila sa isa't isa. Ipinakita ni Adrian ang tunay na diamond ring. Hindi iyon campaign prop. Kilala iyon ni Mila. Binili iyon mula sa corporate executive account 2 linggo ang nakalipas. Cut, sabi ni Rafael. We need more emotion. Bianca touched Adrian's face. Should we use the real words? He glanced toward the cameras. Tonight? But the footage will be stronger if we do it now. Rafael stepped closer. The behind-the-scenes team can capture it as an authentic moment. Adrian nodded. Nag-roll muli ang camera. Humawak si Adrian sa kamay ni Bianca. You are the woman I choose for the future of Lunaria. Bianca smiled with tears prepared for the shot. And I promise to protect the name we will build together. Pagkatapos, ay isinuot niya ang ring. Palakpakan ng production team. May ilan na akala totoong proposal iyon. May ilan namang alam na scripted, ngunit walang gustong magtanong. Sa likod ng monitor, tahimik na pinanood ni Mila ang sariling asawa na ginagamit ang pangalan ng brand niya bilang bahagi ng pangako sa ibang babae. Masakit iyon. Ngunit mas malinaw na ngayon ang kanyang kailangang gawin. Hindi sapat na harapin si Adrian bilang asawa. Kailangan niyang ihinto ang pandaraya bilang owner. Pagkatapos ng shoot, bumalik si Bianca sa makeup room para sa gala look. Mas madiin ang kaniyang kumpiyansa. Tonight, no one will remember Mila, sabi niya kay Lorena. She may issue a statement, sagot ng kapatid. Let her. Once the media sees Adrian and me together, people will believe the brand has already moved on. And if she challenges ownership, Marcos has the acquisition presentation. Is it signed? Adrian signed. What about Mila? Bianca glanced at the masked assistant behind her. She does not need to sign if the world already believes she's sold. Mila continued blending the eyeshadow. Please close your eyes. Ma'am. Bianca obeyed without suspicion, habang inaayos ang lashes. Napansin ni Mila ang contract sa gilid ng table. Nakasuksok ito sa ilalim ng gala schedule. Nang tumayo si Bianca upang magpalit ng damit, bahagya niya itong binuksan. May ambassador fee. My 5% campaign revenue share? My right to purchase Lunaria equity at a symbolic price. At may 5-year appointment as creative director? Sa itaas ay may title. Global Brand Transition Agreement. May pirma ni Adrian. May pirma ni Marcos. May pirma ni Lorena bilang media partner. Walang pirma ni Mila. Ngunit sa final page, may appointment line na para bang tapos na ang lahat. Global Ambassador and future creative owner Bianca Salcedo. Dahan-dahang isinara ni Mila ang folder. Sa earpiece. Narinig niya ang boses ni Gabriel. We have preserved the contract and system logs. Do not reveal yourself yet. Mila looked at Bianca's reflection in the mirror. Nakasuot ito ng kanyang lipstick. Nakasuot ng wedding gown mula sa kanyang collection. Nakasuot ng ring na binili gamit ang pera ng kumpanyang kumikita sa pamamahagi ng kanyang products. At naniniwala itong sapat na ang isang stage campaign upang burahin ang taong lumikha ng lahat. Muling isinuot ni Mila ang employee badge ni Maya Reyes. Sa gabing iyon, haharap sina Adrian at Bianca sa daan-daang bisita upang ipahayag na nagsisimula na ang bagong panahon ng Lunaria. Ngunit bago lumiwanag ang mga screen sa gala, sisiguraduhin ni Mila na lahat ng tao sa silid ay makikita ang isang katotohanang matagal nilang itinago sa likod ng kamera. Ang mukha ng isang campaign ay maaaring palitan. Ang founder ay hindi. Ang mukhang pinaganda gamit ang ninakaw na pangalan. Pagkatapos ng wedding shoot, hindi agad dinala ang mga makeup product pabalik sa official Lunaria storage. Sa halip, inutusan ni Rafael Cordero ang production assistants na ilagay ang mga kahon na walang batch code sa isang hiwalay na service room sa basement ng Manila Heritage Hotel. No one opens these until the gala, sabi niya. The packaging will be used for the product reveal display? Ana looked at the boxes. Those products have not passed Lunaria safety verification. Bianca wore them without a problem. Because we used the genuine kit. Rafael's expression changed. You did what? We did not apply the unverified foundation. I instructed you to use the samples delivered by production. I am responsible for the model's skin and the product record. You are responsible for following the creative director. Bianca is not the creative director. After tonight, she will be. Ana held her ground. That does not retroactively approve an unknown formula. Rafael stepped closer. You have worked for Lunaria for 7 years because the Veralux kept the studios profitable. Do not forget who signs the operating budget. The product owner signs the formula release. You are one complaint away from losing access to every campaign. Sa likod ng black mask, pinanood ni Mila ang paraan ng pagbabanta nito kay Ana. Hindi sumigaw si Rafael. Hindi niya kailangang sumigaw. Ginamit niya ang trabaho, seniority at takot na mawalan ng kabuhayan upang pilitin ang empleyadong patahimikin ang sarili. Mila moved toward the product cart. Sir, the bottles are leaking around the caps. Rafael turned to her. Did I ask you? No, sir. Then return to the makeup room. Mila lowered her head. Yes, sir. Ngunit bago siya umalis, nakita niyang may delivery label sa ilalim ng isa sa mga kahon. Manufacturer ESM Laboratories. Savite? Hindi pamilyar ang pangalan sa Lunaria supplier list. Sa contractor phone niya, mabilis niyang kinunan ng larawan ng label. Makalipas ang ilang segundo, dumating ang mensahe ni Gabriel sa encrypted application. ESM Laboratories is controlled by Enzo Salcedo through a nominee director. Preserve physical samples sa service elevator. Mahinang nagsalita si Ana. Did you photograph the box? Yes. Who are you really? A makeup assistant who knows a counterfeit product should not reach customers. That is not a normal answer. Neither is risking your job for a batch code. Anna looked at her for a long moment. My mother used Lunaria Foundation on her wedding day. I joined the company because the products were made for Filipino skin, not copied from foreign formulas. Mila felt the words more deeply than Anna could know. When a brand becomes large, patuloy nito, people begin to think the logo is enough. But if the formula changes, the brand is already lying. You are right. Then help me preserve one bottle. Mila nodded. Sa loob ng makeup room, naglagay sila ng isang suspicious foundation bottle, lipstick at primer sa tamper-evident cosmetic bags. Isinulat ni Anna ang oras, location at serial markings. Nilagdaan ni Mila bilang witness gamit ang pangalan ni Maya Reyes. Hindi niya ginamit ang tunay niyang pangalan. Ngunit sa unang pagkakataon sa buong araw, ang signature ni Maya ay tumulong protektahan ang Lunaria. Sa kabilang bahagi ng hotel, naghahanda sina Marcos Tejada at Lorena Salcedo para sa evening gala. Nasa production control room sila kasama si Enzo at dalawang IT contractors. Sa malaking screen ay naka-preview ang opening presentation. Lunaria, the new era. Kasunod nito ang wedding footage ni na Adrian at Bianca. Pagkatapos ay ang slide. Fully integrated into the Veralux Holdings. At ang huling bahagi, Bianca Salcedo, Global Ambassador, Future Creative Owner. Enzo looked at the presentation. The phrase fully integrated could create legal exposure. Marcos adjusted his cough. By the time Villanueva's lawyers respond, the media will already report the acquisition as complete. But it is not complete. The distribution agreement, minority shares and operating control create enough appearance of integration. Appearance is not ownership. Lorena smiled. Ownership is what the public repeats. Enzo was less confident. My trademark applications are still pending. That is why tonight matters. Sabi ni Marcos. Once Bianca is publicly identified with Lunaria, your international filings will appear connected to an existing commercial expansion rather than a copy. What if Mila files opposition? She will. And then, we argue that the Veralux authorized the international brand vehicle. It cannot authorize a trademark it does not own. Marcus looked at him coldly. Your job was to file before the gala, not explain intellectual property law to me. Lorena opened a payment schedule. Salcedo Prestige Media receives the remaining 22 million after the announcement. Enzo frowned. For one event. For production. Media placement. Influencer rights and global rollout. The hotel and photography together cost less than 12. Do not count another company's margins. Bianca receives part of that. Lorena did not answer. Marcos closed the document. Everyone receives what was agreed. Hindi nila alam na naka-activate ang campaign compliance mirror system. Dahil ang gala presentation ay gumagamit ng Lunaria digital assets. Automatikong nasa-save sa brand server ang bawat slide revision. User login at link contract sa office ni Gabriel. Sabay-sabay na lumitaw ang mga file. Marcos uploaded a false acquisition slide. Sabi niya kay Attorney Sofia sa secure call. Preserve the version history? Sagot nito. The customer database export has also begun. To where? A cloud environment registered to Lunaria Mason International. Enzo's company. Yes. Can you stop it? I can suspend the export. But if we act now, they may cancel the gala announcement. Sophia thought for a moment. Place it in a controlled queue. Let the system record the requested fields. Destination and authorizing users. No customer data should actually leave. And the trademark files. Our international counsel has prepared oppositions. What about the wedding footage? The image release is invalid without Mila's authorization. Do not allow publication outside the gala system. Gabriel looked at the live production schedule. Mila is still inside the hotel. Then keep her informed. But remind her not to confront Adrian before we have the final transfer documents. Sa bridal suite, naghahanda si Bianca para sa gala. Pinalitan niya ang wedding gown ng silver white evening dress na may crystal embroidery. Ngunit hiniling niyang manatili ang diamond ring sa kanyang daliri. Lorena checked her appearance. The reporters will ask if the proposal was real. What should I say? Say the campaign reflects art becoming life? That sounds evasive. It creates headlines without confirming a legal engagement. Bianca smiled at her reflection. I want people to know Adrian chose me. They will. And Mila. By morning, every article will refer to her as the estranged founder. Former founder. Lorena looked at her. Do not say that until the acquisition slide is shown. Marcos says the company controls the brand. Operationally. I want the title. You will receive the creative owner option after Adrian signs the final transition agreement. He already signed. He signed the draft. What is missing? Brand owner approval. Bianca turned. You said Mila's approval was no longer necessary. Marcos believes the restructuring documents allow Adrian to proceed. Believes. Lorena lowered her voice. The legal structure is complicated. I did not wear a wedding gown all day for a complicated structure. You wore it to make the public associate you with Lunaria. And if Mila appears tonight, she will not. How do you know? She has not appeared publicly in almost a year. She hides behind lawyers. Sa likod nila, tahimik na inayos ni Mila ang final powder sa mukha ni Bianca. Hindi niya kailangang magsalita. Lahat ng kailangan niyang marinig ay kusa nilang sinasabi sa harap ng babaeng itinuturing nilang walang halaga. Bianca looked at her through the mirror. Maya, make the skin brighter? The ballroom lighting is warm. Yes, Mom. And use the new highlighter? The unverified sample? Bianca's expression hardened. I said use it. Anna stepped forward. We cannot apply a product without a safety release. Again, it is company policy. Bianca stood. Do you know how many artists would beg for your position? That does not change the batch requirement. You are ruining the schedule because of a code under a bottle. The code proves where the formula came from. Bianca looked at Lorena. Remove her from the campaign. Anna, sabi ni Rafael mula sa doorway. Give me your badge. Anna froze it. For what reason? Insubordination and refusal to follow production instruction. I refuse to apply an unauthorized product. You accused the supplier without evidence. I requested verification. You will leave the hotel immediately? Mila placed the powder brush on the table. Sir, I also inspected the samples. Rafael looked at her. No one asked for your opinion. The caps were leaking, and the formulation separated under studio heat. Then both of you can leave. Bianca sat back down. Find another team. I do not want difficult employees touching my face. Sa earpiece, narinig ni Mila ang boses ni Gabriel. Whistleblower protection is active. Do not reveal yourself. I am sending the independent production supervisor. Makalipas ang 2 minuto, dumating si Marisa Ong, External Quality Officer ng Lunaria, kasama ang Hotel Security Liaison. Miss Morales will not surrender her badge. Sabi ni Marisa. A product safety alert cannot be treated as misconduct without independent review. Rafael's jaw tightened. This is a De Vera Lux production. It uses Lunaria products, trademarks, and licensed creative assets. Quality controls remain binding. Who called you? The system. Bianca laughed. A bottle triggered a supervisor. A documented employee alert did. Marisa collected the suspicious products until laboratory verification. These samples cannot be applied, displayed as approved Lunaria products, or distributed to guests. Lorena stepped forward. The product reveal is part of the gala. Then use verified inventory. The packaging design is new. New packaging does not authorize an unregistered formula. Bianca turned angrily toward Anna. You will regret this. Anna's hands trembled, but she answered, I would regret letting people buy something under the Lunaria name when I do not know what is inside. Mila looked at her. Sa gabing iyon, hindi lamang ang founder ang nagpoprotekta sa brand. Isang makeup artist na maaaring mawala ng trabaho ang gumawa ng unang tamang desisyon. Pagkaalis ni Marisa, hindi na tuluyang tinanggal si Anna sa production. Ngunit inalis siya ni Rafael sa direct contact kay Bianca at ipinadala sa backstage inventory area. Bago siya lumabas, bumulong siya kay Mila. Whatever happens tonight, do not let them use those products. They will not. You speak as if you can guarantee it. Mila met her eyes. I can guarantee that the evidence will not disappear. Sa main ballroom, dumating ang mga bisita pagsapit ng 7:00. May mga beauty editors, mall executives, influencers, wedding designers at foreign distributors. Sa bawat mesa ay may Lunaria gift box. Ang mga pader ay napapalibutan ng wedding portraits ni na Adrian at Bianca mula sa afternoon shoot. Hindi pa man nagsisimula ang programa, malinaw na ang mensahe. Hindi lamang produkto ang inilulunsad. Isang bagong couple image ang ibinebenta. Sa backstage control room, sinuri ni Marcos ang final documents. Has Adrian signed the data transfer authorization? Tanong ni Enzo. Yes. And distributor migration? Signed. The trademark assignment. Not assignment? International Expansion Authority. Can that survive an opposition from Villanueva? It only needs to survive long enough to establish market activity. Lorena entered carrying a tablet. The press release is scheduled for 8:15. What? Headline tanong ni Marcos. She showed him. Adrian De Vera and Bianca Salcedo led Lunaria into a new global chapter. Sa body ng release ay nakasulat, following the full integration of Lunaria Bridal Beauty into De Vera Lux Holdings, Bianca Salcedo will serve as global ambassador and future creative owner of the iconic Filipino bridal brand. Marcos read it once. Remove the phrase following the acquisition. Use following the integration. Why? Acquisition can be challenged by title documents. Integration is vague? Enzo smiled nervously. You know exactly where the lie becomes dangerous. Marcos looked at him. The public does not read legal definitions. No, sagot ni Enzo. But courts do. Marcos closed the tablet. After tonight, the commercial pressure will force Mila to settle. Sa ballroom entrance, nakatayo si Adrian habang bumabati sa investors. Nasa tabi niya si Bianca. Suot ang ring at silver white dress. Nang makita niya si Maya na may dalang verified makeup kit, bahagya siyang nainis. You are still here. Yes. Sir, the quality officer, retained the original team. Do not bring backstage problems into the gala. Understood? He adjusted his cuff. Mila built good products. But she never understood that a brand needs visibility. Mila remained silent. Adrian continued. Perhaps because he believed the employee had no one important to tell. She always wanted to remain behind the laboratory doors. Maybe she wanted the products to speak first. Sir? He looked at her more carefully. For one brief second, something in her voice seemed familiar. Have we met before? Mila lowered her gaze. I have worked at several Lunaria events. Adrian studied her eyes above the mask. Then Bianca called from the photo wall. Adrian, the reporters are waiting. He immediately turned away. The moment passed. Sa backstage. Nakatanggap si Mila ng encrypted message mula kay Sofia. International trademark oppositions filed. Customer data export preserved and blocked. Fake acquisition documents confirmed. Wait for final gala announcement. Kasunod nito ang screenshot ng secret communication thread ni Bianca. Marcos. Lorena Atenso. Binuksan ni Mila ang messages. Bianca will Adrian sign everything before the announcement. Marcos. He already signed the data migration and distribution transfer. Enzo, if Mila challenges the trademarks, Adrian becomes the authorizing executive. Lorena. The public campaign will make reversal expensive. Bianca. And what do we keep if De Vera Locks is investigated? Marcos. The new company controls the customer lists and international applications. May kasunod pang mensahe mula kay Bianca. After the launch, Adrian takes responsibility. We keep the name, the data, and the profits. Matagal na tinitigan ni Mila ang screen. Hindi alam ni Adrian na ang mga kasabwat niya ay naghahanda nang iwan sa kaniya ang lahat ng liability. Ngunit hindi siya inosente. Siya ang pumirma sa mga authorization. Siya ang gumamit sa wedding campaign upang ipakita sa publiko na wala ng puwang si Mila. Siya ang nagsabing walang karapatang magdesisyon ang mga taong nasa backstage. At siya ang naniwalang pwedeng ilipat ang brand dahil lamang sa sinabi ng CFO na sapat ang kanyang pirma. Sa ballroom, nagsimulang tumugtog ang opening music. Sa screens ay lumitaw ang unang wedding portrait ni Adrian at Bianca. Pumalakpak ang mga bisita. Narinig ang boses ng host. Tonight, Lunaria Bridal Beauty enters its boldest and most beautiful era. Inilagay ni Mila ang contractor phone sa kanyang bulsa. Isinuot niyang muli ang badge ni Maya Reyes. Hindi pa oras upang tanggalin ang mask. Kailangan munang magsalita si Adrian sa harap ng lahat. Kailangan munang ilabas ni Marcos ang pekeng acquisition presentation. Kailangan munang tanggapin ni Bianca ang titulong hindi kailanman ibinigay ng tunay na owner. Pagkatapos, kapag nakatala na sa kamera ang bawat kasinungalingan, magbabago ang lahat ng screen sa ballroom. At ang babaeng ginamit nilang makeup assistant ay hindi na lamang mag-aayos ng mukha ng campaign. Ilalantad niya ang tunay na mukha ng lahat ng taong nagtangkang pagandahin ang pagnanakaw gamit ang pangalan ng Lunaria. Ang gabi na nagbago ang lahat ng screen. Sa ballroom ng Manila Heritage Hotel, isa-isang lumitaw sa malalaking screen ang mga larawan mula sa wedding shoot. Nasa unang larawan si Bianca Salcedo na nakatayo sa ilalim ng floral arch. Suot ang pangunahing wedding gown ng Lunaria Eternal Vows Collection. Sa ikalawa, hawak ni Adrian de Vera ang kamay niya. Sa ikatlo, isinusuot nito ang diamond ring sa daliri ng mistress habang nakatingin sa kaniya na parang tunay na groom. Walang lipstick close-up, walang foundation demonstration. Wala ring kwento tungkol sa mga Filipina chemist, makeup artist at designer na lumikha sa bagong collection. Ang kampanyang dapat sanay tungkol sa bridal beauty ay naging engagement announcement ni Adrian at Bianca. Sa harap ng ballroom, Magkatabi silang nakatayo sa ilalim ng gintong logo ng Lunaria. Nasa likod nila si Lorena Salcedo, na paulit-ulit na nagbibigay ng signal sa photographers upang tiyaking nakikita ang ring sa bawat larawan. Sa Gili GNJ stage, nakatayo si Mila sa ilalim ng pangalan ni Maya Reyes. May hawak siyang verified makeup kit at nakaayos pa rin ang black uniform. Short bob wig at face mask. Walang bisitang tumitingin sa kaniya. Para sa kanila, isa lamang siyang empleyadong naghihintay kung sakaling kailangang ayusin ang makeup ng bagong mukha ng brand. Sa kaniyang earpiece, narinig niya ang boses ni Gabriel Mendoza. Customer data export remains blocked. The system recorded Enzo's destination account and Marcos's authorization. Image release status. Mahinang tanong ni Mila. Restricted. No file can leave the Gala network. Trademark opposition. Filed in 3 jurisdictions. And the fake products? Sealed by the quality team. Mila looked toward Adrian. Wait for his announcement. Sa isang mesa malapit sa stage, nakaupo si Attorney Sofia Villanueva kasama ang 2 kinatawan ng Lunaria Board. Sa harap nila ay may leather folders na naglalaman ng trademark registrations, formula ownership certificates, shareholding records, original distribution agreement, campaign approval requirements, at termination notices na maaari lamang maging epektibo pagkatapos makumpirma sa publiko ang unauthorized use. Hindi pa nila inilalabas ang mga dokumento. Kailangan munang sabihin ni Adrian at Marcos ang kanilang bersyon sa harap ng mga bisita, cameras at investors. Sa backstage control room, sinuri ni Marcos ang final presentation. Ang opening wedding montage ay kasalukuyang tumatakbo. Pagkatapos nito ay ang speech ni Adrian. Kasunod ang integration announcement. At sa huli, aakyat si Bianca sa stage upang tanggapin ang symbolic key sa Lunaria Flagship Studios. Remove Camila's name from the founder timeline. Utos ni Bianca kay Lorena. Too late? The video files are locked. Then skip that slide. The timeline only appears for 3 seconds. I do not want her name appearing during my announcement. Marcus looked at the technician. Can you remove it? The technician tried to open the media folder. Access denied. Use administrator credentials. I did. Marcus frowned. Who changed the permissions? Walang sumagot. Sa ballroom, tinawag ng host si Adrian sa stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man who transformed Lunaria from a beloved local bridal label into a modern luxury name across the Philippines, Mr. Adrian de Vera. Pumalakpak ang mga bisita. Mila's expression did not change. Siya ang lumikha ng unang formulas. Siya ang kumuha sa unang makeup artists. Siya ang nakipagtrabaho sa designers. Ngunit sa pagpapakilala ng host, si Adrian ang naging lalaking nagbago sa brand. Humawak ito sa microphone. 10 years ago, Lunaria began with a simple promise. Sabi niya, to give every Filipina bride the confidence to see herself as extraordinary. Ang pangungusap na iyon ay mula sa original founder's letter ni Mila. Siya ang sumulat nito sa unang product brochure. Patuloy si Adrian. Through De Vera Lux Holdings, we brought that promise into malls, studios, and homes across the country. Tama ang bahaging iyon. Malaki ang naging ambag ng distribution network ni Adrian. Ngunit hindi doon nagtapos ang speech. Tonight, we begin a new chapter. A chapter that brings together beauty, fashion, digital influence and global expansion under one unified vision. Sa screen ay lumitaw ang wedding portrait nila ni Bianca. Nagpalakpakan ng audience. Inabot ni Adrian ang kamay ng mistress at inakyat ito sa stage. Bianca represents the courage elegance, and modern spirit of the woman Lunaria will serve in the years ahead. Bianca smiled toward the cameras. Tonight, patuloy ni Adrian, I am proud to introduce her as Lunaria's new global ambassador. Mas malakas ang palakpakan mula sa gilid ng room. Tiningnan ni Ana Morales ang stage. Nakari-assign siya sa backstage inventory ngunit pinayagan ni Marisa Ong na manatili sa gala bilang witness sa product display. Hindi siya pumalakpak. Alam niyang walang brand owner approval ang appointment. Sa earpiece ni Mila, nagsalita si Gabriel. Ambassador announcement recorded. Continue preservation. Adrian lifted Bianca's left hand, making the diamond ring clearly visible. And because some partnerships go beyond business, I also want to acknowledge that the story behind Eternal Vows has become deeply personal. Nagsimulang magbulungan ang mga reporters. Sabrina Bianca tilted her head, pretending to be surprised even though they had rehearsed the moment. Bianca, sabi ni Adrian, you are not only the face of this campaign. You are the woman I choose to stand beside me in the future we are building. Muli niya itong hinalikan sa kamay. Nag-flash ang cameras. May reporter na sumigaw. Is this an official engagement? Adrian looked at Bianca. She answered first. Let us say that art became life today. Nagtawanan ang ilang bisita. Mila remained still. Legal pa rin siyang asawa ni Adrian. Walang divorce decree. Walang final property settlement. Ngunit sa harap ng buong industriya, ginamit nito ang brand niya upang ipakita sa publiko na may bagong babaeng karapat-dapat tumayo sa kaniyang lugar. Hindi siya kumilos bilang asawa. Kumilos siya bilang founder na naghihintay sa tamang sandali. Lumapit si Marcos sa podium. And now, sabi niya, we will present the corporate structure that makes this new era possible. Sa screen ay lumitaw ang title, Lunaria fully integrated into the Vera Lux Holdings? Nagpalakpakan ng ilang investors. May iba namang napatingin sa legal counsel nila. Marcos continued, following years of operational partnership, the Vera Lux has completed the consolidation of Lunaria's distribution, creative direction, customer operations, and international growth strategy. Sophia whispered to the board representative beside her. He is avoiding the word acquisition because he knows there was none. Sa staff, ipinakita ni Marcos ang simplified ownership diagram. Nasa gitna ang De Vera Lux Holdings. Sa ilalim nito ay Lunaria Retail Operations, Bridal Studios, Customer Platform, International Licensing, at Creative Campaigns. Wala ang Villanueva Mason Group. Wala rin ang 68% controlling stake nito. Effective tonight, sabi ni Marcos. All global expansion activities will proceed through one unified commercial structure. Enzo smiled from the control room doorway. Iyon ang linyang kailangan niya upang ipakita sa foreign trademark offices na konektado sa Lunaria ang kaniyang bagong company. Bianca took the microphone. And I am honored to accept not only the role of global ambassador, but the responsibility of helping lead Lunaria's creative future. Sa screen ay lumitaw ang susunod na title, Bianca Salcedo Global Ambassador Future Creative Owner. Maraming bisita ang tumayo upang kumuha ng larawan. Lorena activated the press release system. Sa media dashboard, lumitaw ang status. Scheduled for immediate distribution. Pinindot niya ang release button. Ngunit hindi nag-green ang screen. Sa halip, lumabas ang notice. Publication block brand owner authorization required. What is this? Tanong niya. The technician tried again. Pareho ang result. Marcos received an alert on his phone. Customer data Migration suspended. Kasunod, international trademark use under opposition. At pagkatapos, campaign image license revoked, pending review. Nagbago ang mukha niya. Who activated compliance controls? Sa ballroom, hindi pa napapansin ng audience ang nangyayari sa control room. Adrian continued his speech. To symbolize this transition, we have prepared a creative leadership agreement that will give Bianca authority to guide the next 5 years of Lunaria campaigns. Lumapit ang assistant, dala ang leather contract folder. Binuksan iyon ni Adrian sa harap ng kameras. Nasa unang pahina ang kaniyang pirma. Nasa ikalawa ang pirma ni Marcos. Nasa ikatlo ang pirma ni Lorena. Walang pirma ng founder. Ngunit hindi iyon ipinaliwanag sa audience. Bianca, sabi ni Adrian, this brand needs someone willing to stand in front and lead. Bago niya maabot ang stylo sa mistress, nagsalita ang isang tahimik na boses mula sa gilid ng stage. That agreement has no brand owner approval. Napalingon ang ilang bisita. Nakita nila ang makeup assistant na si Maya Reyes. Nakataas ang kilay ni Adrian. This is not the time for staff comments. Mila remained where she was. Then perhaps the staff should not be asked to prepare an unauthorized campaign. Natawa si Bianca ng maikli. Maya, go backstage. The foundation samples from ESM laboratories were not approved by Lunaria. Marcos turned toward Rafael. Remove her. Dalawang security staff ang lumapit. Ngunit bago sila makarating kay Mila, tumayo si Marisa Ong. She is part of an active quality and compliance investigation. Do not touch her. Nagkaroon ng bulungan sa audience. Adrian's expression hardened. What investigation? Mila looked at him. The unregistered products? The unauthorized wedding gown release? The blocked customer data transfer and the false ownership presentation? Sabrina Bianca gripped the microphone. Who are you to discuss ownership? Adrian stepped down from the center of the stage. Enough. You are a contract makeup assistant. Mila slowly removed the employee badge from her uniform. Today. Yes? She placed it on the edge of the stage. Maya Reyes, freelance makeup assistant? Security. Sabi ni Adrian. Escort her out. But before anyone moved, every screen in the ballroom went black. The wedding portraits disappeared. The Lunaria integration chart vanished. The music stopped. For 3 seconds, the entire hall was silent. Then a single white logo appeared. Villanueva Maison Group. Sa ilalim nito ay lumitaw ang unang document. Lunaria Bridal Beauty Trademark Owner Villanueva Maison Group. Sumunod ang shareholding record. Villanueva Maison Group 68%. Camila Villanueva de Vera 17%. Employee and Designer Trust 8%. De Vera Lux Holdings 7%, non-controlling interest. The audience erupted in whispers. Adrian turned toward Marcos. What is this? Marcos looked at the screen, unable to answer. The next slide displayed the distribution agreement. Highlighted in red was the clause, distribution rights do not constitute ownership. Trademark authority or power to appoint global ambassadors without written consent of the brand owner. Another clause followed. Unauthorized personal use. Misleading ownership claims or transfer of customer data constitutes grounds for immediate suspension and termination. Bianca stared at the screens. This is fabricated. Sophia stood and raised a certified folder. These are the registered ownership and licensing records. Who authorized this presentation? Asked Adrian. A new line appeared. Founder and controlling owner Camila Villanueva de Vera. Everyone turned toward the makeup assistant. Mila reached up and removed her face mask. Adrian froze. She took out the dark contact lenses one at a time and placed them in a small case. Then she removed the short bob wig. Her real hair, pinned beneath it, fell over her shoulders. Bianca stepped back. Mila? Hindi agad nakapagsalita si Adrian. Tinitigan niya ang babaeng buong araw niyang inutusan. Minamaliit at hindi kinilala. You were Maya. Yes. You entered the shoot in disguise. Under a lawful internal brand protection assignment? You deceived us. I listened to what you said in front of someone you believed had no authority. Adrian looked around at the cameras. You could have spoken to me privately. I did for months. You told me Marcus had completed the restructuring and that I should stop interfering with your company. This is my company's gala. It is using my trademark, my products, my gown license, and my customer platform. Bianca pointed toward the screens. Adrian said the Veralux already owned Lunaria. Mila looked at her. Did you review the ownership records? Marcus showed us the integration package. Did it include my approval? Adrian signed. Adrian owns 7% of Lunaria through a non-controlling company interest. She turned toward her husband. You signed an agreement giving another woman creative ownership in a brand you did not own. I was told the restructuring transferred control. By whom? Everyone looked at Marcus. He stepped toward the microphone. The operational consolidation created effective control. Commercial influence is not legal ownership. Sabi ni Sofia. Marcus tried to remain calm. The Villanueva Group had delegated management. Management was delegated under a limited distribution license. Sagot ni Mila. Not the trademark. Not the formulas. Not the customer data. Not the right to appoint Bianca. Adrian looked at the contract folder in his hand. Why did the system accept my approvals? Because the Veralux has operational access. Sabi ni Gabriel Mendoza as he entered the ballroom with the compliance team. The system recorded the requests. It did not grant ownership authority. He displayed a new screen. Customer data export request. Destination, Lunaria Maison Internationale. Authorized by Marcus Tejada. Executive approval, Adrian de Vera. Status block. Mila faced Adrian. Why were you sending Lunaria customers to Enzo's company? I believe it was our international expansion platform. Did you ask who owned it? He looked toward Enzo. No. Did you verify whether it was licensed to use the Lunaria name? Marcus said it was covered. You signed without reading the trademark schedule. His expression changed. Bianca interrupted. This is a personal attack because he chose me. Mila turned to her. This stopped being personal when you accepted an unauthorized ownership option, used counterfeit products, and prepared to move customer data. I did not manufacture the products. Your cousin's company did. That was a supplier decision. You requested that the products be displayed as approved Lunaria releases. I trusted production. And when Anna raised the batch code issue, you tried to remove her. Anna stood near the backstage entrance. Bianca looked at her with anger. She delayed my campaign? She protected customers. Rafael moved quietly toward the ballroom exit. Gabriel signaled to the hotel security liaison. Mr. Cordero, please remain available. Your instructions to remove the founder's name and restrict document recording are part of the review. I only follow the creative brief. Then the investigators will determine who created it. Sa screen, lumitaw ang forged wedding gown release. bearing Mila's copied signature. Adrian stared at it. Did you sign this? No. The signature looks like yours. It was copied from an old design approval. The genuine signature has a break between the V and D. Sophia displayed the forensic comparison. The forged release had been assembled digitally. The wedding gown used in the shoot had never been licensed for a campaign implying a real proposal. The room became quieter. The elegant photographs that had looked romantic only minutes earlier now appeared to be evidence of unauthorized use. Bianca looked toward Lorena. You said the gown release was approved. Lorena answered softly. Rafael provided the file. Rafael immediately responded. Marcus's office sent it. Marcus shook his head. The creative production team handled releases. An by an, they began passing responsibility. Mila watched without interrupting. People who had confidently called themselves owners only minutes before could no longer agree on who had authorized a single page. Adrian turned to Mila. What do you want? The question is not what I want. You shut down the campaign. I suspended unauthorized release. You blocked our international platform. You tried to send customer data to an unlicensed company. You are destroying the Verilux in front of our partners. You brought the false ownership announcement in front of them. He lowered his voice. You could have warned me before tonight. You were warned by every missing signature, every restricted clause, and every question you chose not to ask. You let me propose to Bianca on camera. You chose to do that. You stood there and watched. As the founder whose brand you used to make the proposal, Bianca stepped between them. The announcement is already public. Reporters filmed everything. Gabriel checked the system. The official press release was blocked. External image files are restricted. There are phones in the room, sabi niya. Yes, sagot ni Mila. And those phones also recorded the ownership documents. Bianca's face lost color. She had wanted the evening to make the public associate her with Lunaria. It would, but not as its future owner. As the woman who accepted a title the real owner had never granted. Mila walked onto the center of the stage. She removed the black makeup smock, revealing a simple white tailored suit underneath. Anna had quietly placed it in the backstage dressing room earlier under Gabriel's instructions. Sophia handed her the certified founder and ownership records. Mila placed them beside the Maya Reyes badge. Earlier today, sabi niya, Adrian told the makeup assistant that people backstage do not decide who represents Lunaria. She looked toward Anna, Marisa, and the production employees. But a brand is not created only by the people standing in front of cameras. The screens showed photographs of the first Lunaria laboratory. Filipino designers sketching gowns and makeup artists preparing real brides. It is created by chemists who verify formulas, artists who protect customers, designers whose work must be licensed, employees who refuse to put an unknown product on someone's skin. She turned toward Adrian and Bianca. You used a wedding campaign to claim ownership you did not have. The final screen displayed, campaign release suspended, distribution license under termination review, global ambassador appointment invalid, customer data secured. Bianca removed the microphone from its stand. You cannot erase what we filmed. I am not erasing it. Mila looked at the cameras still recording inside the ballroom. You did not organize a wedding using your own brand. She placed one hand on the forged campaign agreement. You used my brand to record every unauthorized promise, every false title, and every person who expected my name to disappear. Adrian stood motionless beneath the Lunaria logo. The woman he had treated as an invisible makeup assistant was now at the center of the stage. The mistress he intended to present as the future of the brand had no valid appointment. The CFO he trusted could not explain the ownership records. And the campaign designed to remove Mila from public memory had become the event that revealed to the entire industry exactly who she was. Mila looked across the ballroom. This morning, I came here as Maya Reyes because I needed to hear what people would say before someone they believed had no power. Then she looked directly at Adrian. Tonight, I am standing here as Camila Villanueva de Vera. The founder's name filled every screen, and I am not only the woman behind this stage. She picked up the original Lunaria trademark certificate. I am the woman who built it. Ang CEO na hindi may-ari ng pangalan? Hindi pa bumababa si Mila sa stage nang sabay-sabay na tumunog ang mga phone ni na Adrian, Marcos, Lorena Atenso. Sa screen ni Adrian ay lumitaw ang unang notice. Lunaria Distribution License temporarily suspended. Kasunod nito, Campaign Assets Release Prohibited. Customer Database Access Revoked. Unauthorized Product Inventory Quarantined. Sa loob lamang ng ilang segundo, nawalan ng access ang De Vera Lux Holdings sa campaign folders, online customer platform, at Lunaria Product Ordering System. Hindi isinara ang buong retail operation. Ang mga existing store ay maaari pa ring magbenta ng verified inventory habang nagpapatuloy ang transition review. Ngunit hindi na sila maaaring mag-order ng bagong Lunaria products, gumamit ng wedding campaign, maglipat ng customer data, maglunsad ng international store, o magpakilala ng bagong ambassador. Restore the access. Utos ni Adrian kay Gabriel Mendoza. Hindi na kayo ang may authority para gawing iyon. Sagot ng Compliance Director. I am the CEO of De Vera Lux. Your company is a distributor. We operate Lunaria stores under a license that expressly prohibits false ownership claims and unauthorized transfers. We can resolve the contract dispute tomorrow. This is not only a contract dispute. Customer data was being exported to an unlicensed company tonight. Adrian looked toward Enzo. You said Lunaria Mason International was part of our expansion structure. Enzo stepped back. Marcos provided the authorization. Marcos immediately answered, You prepared the trademark filings. Because you told me De Vera Lux controlled the brand. I said we had commercial authority. You told me to use the Lunaria name. Adrian raised his voice. Stop blaming one another. Who created the new company? Enzo. Sagot ni Marcos. Who approved moving customer information? You did. Marcos removed the document from his folder. Nasa ibaba ang electronic signature ni Adrian. Hindi to peke. Pinirmahan niya iyon 2 araw bago ang gala. The title read, Global Customer Platform, Migration Authorization. Hindi binanggit sa main page na ang destination platform ay pag-aari ni Enzo. Nasa annex iyon na hindi binasa ni Adrian. You told me it was a technical migration. Sabi niya kay Marcos. It was to a company owned by Bianca's cousin. The international vehicle required separate ownership. Why? For trademark registration and foreign investment. Why was De Vera Lux not the owner? Marcos hesitated. Foreign structures require flexibility. Mila descended from the stage and placed the original distribution agreement on the central table. Customer information belongs to Lunaria's operating system. Sabi niya. It cannot be transferred to a separate company without written approval from the brand owner and consent safeguards. Adrian looked at her. I believe the international company was part of De Vera Lux. You signed without confirming ownership. I relied on my CFO. You relied on the summary because the full annex would have required you to stop. I did not know. You knew enough to ask. Bianca stepped toward Mila, still wearing the diamond ring and silver white gown. You are using technical clauses to steal the night from us. Mila faced her. You attempted to take the brand name, formulas and customer data. I stopped you. The public already saw me as Lunaria's global ambassador. The appointment was invalid. Adrian announced it. Adrian did not own the authority to grant it. He is the reason Lunaria became famous. He expanded distribution. That does not give him ownership of everything he distributed. Bianca laughed bitterly. And what did you do? Hide in laboratories while he built the company. Mila did not raise her voice. I created the formulas, registered the trademarks, funded the first studios, negotiated with designers, approved the capital that helped his retail network grow. You never appeared. I was working. You let him become the face? I did. Then do not complain when people believe the face is the owner. I am not complaining. Mila pointed toward the ownership records filling the screen. I am correcting the record. Sa likod ng ballroom, sinimulan ng independent quality team ang pagkuha sa mga suspicious product display, ang foundation, primer at lipstick mula sa ESM laboratories ay inilagay sa sealed evidence boxes. Nakita iyon ni Lorena. You cannot remove those. They were purchased by Salcedo Prestige Media. They carry the Lunaria trademark. Sagot ni Marisa Ong. They are subject to quality control. They are campaign props. Then why were product launch codes and retail pricing included in the packaging files? Lorena did not answer. Anna approached the table with the preserved bottle she had sealed earlier. The formula separated under heat, sabi niya. It also had no laboratory release code. Bianca looked at her. You created this entire problem because of one bottle. No. Sagot ni Anna. The bottle showed that someone was using Lunaria's name without Lunaria's process. You should have followed production instructions. I followed product safety policy. You will never work on another campaign after tonight. Mila turned toward Bianca. She will. This is not your staffing decision. It is my brand's quality team. Bianca stared at her. Then you plan to reward everyone who betrayed us. Mila shook her head. They did not betray you. They refused to help you deceive customers. Gabriel handed Anna a written notice. Your whistleblower status is formally protected. No adverse action may be taken without independent review. Anna looked at Mila. So you knew about my report? Yes. You were the person who answered? My office answered. Anna's expression changed as she remembered every conversation she had with Maya. You let me speak to you without knowing who you were. I needed to know whether the system protected an employee even when she did not know the founder was listening. And did it? It almost failed. Mila looked toward Rafael Cordero. A production director tried to take your badge? That means the process needs reform. Rafael raised both hands. I followed the chain of command. Whose command? Tanong ni Gabriel. Lorena controlled the production schedule. Lorena immediately objected. You approved the removal because you demanded that no one delay Bianca. I did not tell you to threaten Anna. You said, replace any employee who resisted the new samples. That was a creative instruction. It was written in your message. Raphael's face lost color. Gabriel displayed the preserved production chat. Lorena, Anyone questioning the Enzo sample should be removed before the gala. Rafael Ana is insisting on laboratory approval. Bianca then remove her. After tonight, I decide who works for Lunaria. The final response came from Rafael. Understood. Bianca looked toward the reporters. That was taken out of context. What context makes it acceptable, tanong ni Mila? The campaign could not stop because of one employee. The employee was correct. Bianca tightened her grip on the microphone. You keep saying that as if correctness matters more than momentum. For a cosmetics brand, it does. Sa central screen, lumitaw ang breakdown ng 85 million peso campaign budget. Ang original approved allocation was 20 million for hotel, production and photography, 15 million for media placement, 12 million for designers and licensed wardrobe, 10 million for verified product development, 8 million for retail launch, at the remaining amount for staff, logistics, and contingency. Ngunit ang actual payment schedule showed 31 million to Salcedo Prestige Media and connected entities, 8 million in image fees to Bianca, 6 million to an Enzo-linked laboratory, 5 million in consulting fees to Marcos's advisory vehicle, at additional payments to companies with no verified campaign work. Adrian stared at the table. Bianca received 8 million. Lorena answered. Standard global image fee. You told me she waived the fee because this was our joint campaign. Bianca looked at him. The fee covered perpetual image rights. To a company I funded. The campaign needed my face. And Lorena's company received 31 million for media and production. The hotel, photographers and staff did not cost that much. Lorena crossed her arms. You approved the budget. I approved the total. Marcos approved the breakdown. Marcos spoke. The media agreement was negotiated by the communications team. You signed the payment schedule. Sabi ni Mila. A scanned authorization appeared. Marcos's signature was on the fee releases. Beside, it was Adrian's executive approval. Mila continued. 31 million pesos moved to entities linked to the Salcedo family. 5 million was reserved for Marcos. 6 million funded unverified products from Enzo's laboratory. Adrian turned toward Marcos. You received a consulting fee from the same campaign you approved as CFO. It was for international expansion advice. You were already paid as CFO. The advisory work was outside my normal scope. You hid it from the board. It was disclosed in the vendor schedule. In an annex you prepared. Marcos remained silent. The gala had become an audit room. The same screen that had displayed romantic wedding portraits now showed transfers, ownership charts, and unauthorized contracts. One by one. Investors stopped looking at Mila as the betrayed wife. They began looking at Adrian as a CEO who had signed documents he did not understand. Approved payments benefiting his mistress's family and publicly claimed ownership of a brand his company did not control. Bianca stepped away from him. You should not have signed everything without reading. Adrian slowly turned. What? I told you Marcos handled the legal details. You told me Lunaria would belong to us after tonight. I said the public would see us as the future. You knew there was no completed acquisition. Bianca did not answer. You knew Mila still controlled the brand. I knew her group still had technical rights. Technical rights. The trademarks and formulas. That is the brand. You said De Vera Lux had operational power. Because that is what Marcos told me. And the 1 peso equity option. The screen changed to Bianca's creative owner agreement. If the campaign succeeded, She would have the right to acquire a major interest in Lunaria Mason International for 1 peso. The company would then receive customer data, international trademark applications, product packaging rights, and distribution contracts migrated from De Vera Lux. Adrian read the clause. You were not receiving shares in Lunaria. Bianca remained silent. You were receiving shares in Enzo's company? It was the international vehicle, controlled by your family. That does not make it improper. You told me I was giving you part of Lunaria. It would become the new Lunaria. And what happens to the Vera Lux? Marcos stepped between them. The domestic distribution operations would continue. For how long? Tanong ni Adrian. No one answered. Gabriel displayed another preserved message thread. Marcos, once customer migration is complete, De Vera Lux becomes only the local retail operator. Enzo and Adrian's role. Lorena, he remains public CEO until the launch stabilizes. Bianca, if the Villanueva Group sues, every authorization is under Adrian's name. Marcos? Correct. Then the final message appeared. Bianca, after the launch, Adrian takes responsibility. We keep the name, the data and the profits. The ballroom fell silent again. Adrian looked at Bianca as though seeing her clearly for the first time that evening. You planned to leave me with the lawsuit. We needed to protect the new company. From the company that funded it. From Mila. And from me. You would still control the Vera Lux. A distributor with no data, no international rights, and no exclusive brand. We would negotiate later. You were going to use my signatures to take Lunaria away from both Mila and my company. Bianca's voice hardened. You were already trying to take it from Mila. That does not give you the right to take it from me. Mila watched the argument without sympathy. Adrian had finally discovered the same boundary he had ignored when the victim was his wife. He understood ownership only when someone else attempted to take from him. Bianca looked at Mila. You are enjoying this? No. You wanted him to know I used him. I wanted the evidence preserved. You could have exposed us privately. You planned a public false announcement. Adrian stepped toward Mila. You knew they intended to remove my company from the structure. I learned the full plan today. Why did you not warn me? You had already signed the data transfer, ambassador contract and campaign authorization. I could have stopped them. You could have stopped before signing. I was deceived. You were deceived about Bianca's final plan. Mila held his gaze. You were not deceived about using my brand to announce your relationship. You were not deceived about giving her a title I had never approved. You were not deceived about removing my name from the founder timeline. I thought the restructuring gave me authority. You preferred the version of the contract that gave you everything. I trusted Marcus. You trusted him because he told you that my consent no longer mattered. Adrian lowered his voice. You are still my wife. And you stood on my brand stage to call another woman your future. We were separated. We were not legally divorced. I did not intend to humiliate you. You invited cameras. He had no answer. Sa isang private room beside the ballroom, nagsimula ang emergency meeting ng De Vera Lux Holdings Board. Several directors had attended the gala and witnessed the ownership reveal. Independent Director Lucia Ramos chaired the session. Adrian, Marquez, Lorena, Bianca and Mila were called separately. Marcus was questioned first. Did you tell the board that the Vera Lux had acquired control of Lunaria? Tanong ni Lucia. I reported operational integration. Did you disclose that Villanueva Maison Group owned 68%? The board had access to historical records? Did you disclose that the international company was owned by Enzo Salcedo? It was a strategic partner. Did you disclose your consulting fee? It was listed in the vendor annex. Did you disclose that customer data would leave De Vera Lux and Lunaria? The platform migration was part of international expansion. Did the data owner approve it? Marcus remained silent. Lucia closed the folder. You are suspended as CFO, effective immediately. Your financial, system and vendor authority is revoked pending forensic investigation. Marcus leaned forward. You cannot make that decision based on a staged ambush. It is based on documents carrying your signature. Lorena's contract with De Vera Lux was suspended next. Salcedo Prestige Media could not distribute the wedding footage, press release or behind-the-scenes content. The company was required to return all Lunaria creative assets and disclose every subcontractor and payment recipient. Enzo received formal notices opposing his international trademark applications and prohibiting use of Lunaria packaging, customer information and formulas. Rafael was removed from campaign control pending investigation into forged releases and retaliation against quality staff. Then Lucia called Adrian into the boardroom. You approve 85 million pesos for this campaign. Sabi niya. Yes. Did you disclose your relationship with Miss Salcedo? No. Did you know she would receive 8 million in image fees? Not the final amount. Did you know she was the ultimate beneficiary of the creative owner option? I believe it referred to Lunaria. It referred to her cousin's company. I was misled. Did you read the agreement? The CFO summarized it. Did you ask the legal owner of Lunaria to approve the appointment? I believe De Vera Lux had control. Did you read the original distribution agreement? Years ago. Did you verify the restructuring with Villanueva Maison Group? No. Why not? Adrian looked through the glass wall toward Mila. Because I believed she would object. Lucia's expression did not change. So you did not avoid contacting her because you thought her consent was unnecessary. Adrian remained silent. You avoided contacting her because you knew the answer might be no. Yes. That single answer removed the strongest part of his defense. He had not merely misunderstood the contract. He had chosen not to ask the true owner because he wanted the campaign to proceed. After deliberation, the board issued its decision. Adrian De Vera was suspended as CEO and Executive Director pending investigation into undisclosed related party transactions, misuse of company funds, failure to review customer data transfer, false ownership representations, and breach of fiduciary duty. He stood abruptly. You are suspending me during the largest crisis in the company's history. The crisis was created through your approvals. Sagot ni Lucia. I built the retail network. You did. That achievement does not authorize this conduct. Without me, De Vera Lux may lose Lunaria permanently. The distribution license is already under termination review. Adrian looked toward Mila. You can stop that. The review is being handled by the Villanueva board and independent counsel. Sabi niya. You control the board. I control the brand. That does not mean I will ignore the contract. Save the distribution agreement? Why? For the employees. Verified stores and workers will be protected during transition. For the company. The company must survive based on lawful business, not access obtained through our marriage. For me. Mila remained silent. He stepped closer. I was manipulated by Marcos and Bianca. Yes. Then tell the board I did not intend to steal the brand. You intended to act without my consent. I thought the brand was already under De Vera control. You knew I would object. That is not the same as theft. It is the reason you chose not to verify. Adrian's voice became softer. Do not destroy everything we built. Mila looked toward the ballroom, where employees were taking down the unauthorized wedding portraits. We built two different things. What does that mean? I built Lunaria. You built its distribution network. And our marriage. You used it to assume my silence. He looked down at the Maya Reyes badge still in her hand. You stood beside me all day. Yes. I spoke to you like an employee. You spoke to every employee that way. I did not recognize you. That is not the part you should regret most. What should I regret? That you believed a person deserved respect only after learning she owned the brand. Sa ballroom, muling nagbago ang screens. Hindi na wedding photographs ang ipinakita. Lumitaw ang official notice. Lunaria Eternal Vows Campaign cancelled. Bianca Salcedo, appointment invalid. De Vera Lux Distribution Authority suspended, pending termination. Customer data secured? Unauthorized products recalled and quarantined. Bianca stood alone near the stage. Wala na sa tabi niya si Adrian. Wala na ring photographers na humihingi ng romantic pose. Tinanggal niya ang diamond ring at inilagay sa table. You can have your brand, sabi niya kay Mila. But everyone will remember the wedding pictures. Mila looked at the portraits being removed from the walls. They will remember them. Then I still became the face of Lunaria. No. Mila picked up one of the sealed counterfeit products. You became the face of an unauthorized campaign. Bianca's eyes filled with anger. You think being the founder makes you untouchable? No. It makes me responsible. For what? For every product carrying the name? Every customer whose data you tried to move? Every employee you threatened? Every designer whose work you used without consent? Mila placed the bottle back inside the evidence box. You wanted the title without the responsibility. She turned toward Adrian. And you wanted the authority without the ownership. The husband who had stood proudly beneath the Lunaria logo only hours earlier now had no valid right to use it. The mistress presented as the brand's future had no contract. The CFO who promised full integration had lost system access. And the company that believed distribution made it the owner was waiting to learn whether it would ever sell Lunaria again. Bago umalis ang mga bisita, hinarap ni Mila ang employees. Designers at retail partners na nanatili sa ballroom. Existing verified orders will be honored. Sabi niya, store employees will not lose their jobs because executives violated the licensing agreement. Anna looked toward her. What happens to Lunaria now? We audit every campaign, product batch, and data system. And the people responsible, they receive due process. Even Adrian, especially Adrian. Sa dulo ng silid, narinig iyon ng kanyang asawa. Minsan, naniwala siyang ang pagmamahal ni Mila ay palaging magiging dahilan upang iligtas siya. Ngayon, nauunawaan niyang hindi na nito gagamitin ang pag-aasawa upang takpan ang ginawa niya. Bago lumabas si Mila sa ballroom, muling nagsalita si Adrian. I lost Lunaria the moment you revealed you were the owner. Huminto siya. No. Adrian? She turned back. You did not lose the brand because I revealed my name. Mila looked toward the original founder timeline that Bianca had tried to remove. You lost it When you believed a distributor could erase the founder and call the stolen name its own. Ang babaeng bumalik sa harap ng sariling tatak. 12 buwan ang lumipas bago tuluyang natapos ang forensic audit sa Lunaria Bridal Beauty, De Vera Lux Holdings at mga kumpanyang konektado sa pamilya Salcedo. Hindi agad muling naglunsad ng malaking campaign si Mila. Hindi rin niya ginamit ang viral na gala upang gawing sentro ng marketing ang pagkatalo nina Adrian at Bianca. Sa halip, ang unang ginawa ng Villanueva Mason Group ay siyasatin ang bawat produkto, kontrata, supplier at customer system na hinawakan ng De Vera Lux sa nakaraang 3 taon. Umabot sa mahigit 20,000 unit ng foundation. Primer at lipstick ang pansamantalang inalis sa distribution habang sinusuri ang batch records. Sa mga iyon, mahigit 3,000 produkto ang napatunayang mula sa ESM Laboratories ang pabrika na konektado kay Enzo Salcedo. Hindi pareho ang formula sa registered Lunaria specifications. May ilang sample na kulang sa tamang stability testing. Gumamit ng murang fragrance compound, walang approved allergen declaration, at may packaging na sadyang ginawa upang magmukhang tunay na Lunaria release. Walang customer ang pinayagang magbayad para sa mga iyon. Lahat ng kahina-hinalang unit ay tinanggal sa stores. Inilagay sa quarantine at kalaunan ay winasak sa ilalim ng independent regulatory supervision. Naglabas ang Lunaria ng public notice. Hindi nito itinago ang problema. Ngunit hindi rin ito pinalaki ang takot. Malinaw ang sinabi. Certain unauthorized samples were created outside the Lunaria quality system and did not form part of any approved commercial release. Verified products remain safe and traceable through official batch codes. Nagbukas din ang brand ng refund at verification channel para sa customers. Sa unang linggo, libo-libong tao ang nagtanong kung tunay ang kanilang products. Si Mila mismo ang nag-utos na walang customer ang sisisihin kung nakabili ito mula sa authorized store. Ang logo ang nakita nila. Sabi niya sa crisis team, hindi nila obligasyong malaman na may executive na nagpalit ng supplier sa likod ng system. Ang responsibilidad ay nasa brand. At dahil siya ang founder, hindi niya ginamit ang pagiging biktima upang takasan ang pananagutan. Sa final investigation, napatunayang si Enzo ang nag-utos na kopyahin ang Lunaria packaging at lumikha ng bagong shades na walang official laboratory approval. Ang planong Lunaria Mason International ay hindi naging legal na extension ng brand. Tinanggihan ang trademark applications nito matapos ipakita ng mga abogado ni Mila ang original Lunaria registrations, evidence of deliberate name similarity, packaging comparisons, customer data migration requests, at internal messages tungkol sa pagkuha sa international market bago makapag-react ang Villanueva Group. Nawalan si Enzo ng karapatang gamitin ang Lunaria name sa anumang produkto. Ang kaniyang laboratorio ay isinailalim sa regulatory investigation. At ang mga distributor na nakipagkontrata rito ay inutusang magsumite ng buong supply records. Hindi rin niya nakuha ang customer database. Dahil sa controlled compliance queue ni Gabriel, walang tunay na customer file ang tuluyang nakaalis sa Lunaria system. Ang naitala lamang ay ang attempt. Sino ang humiling? Kailan ito ginawa? Anong fields ang gustong kopyahin? Saang server ito ipadadala? At kung sinong executive ang pumirma? Ang attempted theft of data became stronger evidence than any successful transfer would have been. Si Lorena Salcedo naman ay nawalan ng kontrata sa De Vera Lux at Lunaria. Ang forensic review sa 31 million peso payment sa Salcedo Prestige Media ay nagpakitang maraming invoice ang inflated o walang katumbas na serbisyo. May charges para sa international press placement na hindi naman binili, influencer packages na hindi nabook, luxury styling services na doble ang presyo, at consulting fees na dumiretso sa mga company account na kontrolado ng pamilya Salcedo. Inutusan ng company na ibalik ang mga halagang hindi mapatunayan. Ang wedding footage ay hindi kailanman naging official campaign. Hindi pinayagang gamitin ni Lorena ang Lunaria logo, bridal gown images, behind-the-scenes videos, makeup close-ups, o mga eksenang nagpapahiwatig na si Bianca ay authorized brand owner. Ang ilang personal recordings mula sa gala ay nanatili sa internet. Hindi na iyon maaaring tuluyang burahin. Ngunit sa bawat article na sumunod, malinaw ang koreksyon. Si Bianca ay hindi naging global ambassador. Hindi siya naging creative owner. At ang wedding campaign ay kinansela dahil sa unauthorized use of brand assets. Si Marcos Tejada ang naharap sa pinakamalawak na corporate investigation. Natuklasang sa loob ng 2 taon ay paulit-ulit niyang binibigyan si Adrian ng condensed summaries na sadyang hindi isinasama ang restrictions sa original distribution agreement. Hindi nito pinawalang sala si Adrian. Ngunit ipinakita nitong planado ang paglikha ng maling paniniwala na kontrolado na ng De Vera Lux ang Lunaria. Si Marcos ang naghanda ng false integration charts, misleading board summaries, international migration documents, related party vendor payments, at symbolic equity option para kay Bianca. Napatunayan ding may personal consulting vehicle siyang tatanggap sana ng 5 milyong piso mula sa campaign. Permanenteng tinanggal siya bilang CFO. Ang records niya ay ipinasa sa regulators at prosecutors para sa posibleng fraud, breach of trust at falsification of corporate disclosures. Sa final hearing, iginiit niyang sumusunod lamang siya sa strategic vision ni Adrian. Ngunit inilabas ni Lucia Ramos ang original email mula kay Adrian. Prepare a lawful proposal for international expansion. No transfer of brand ownership without proper approval. Pagkatapos ay pinakita ang ginawa ni Marcos. Isang structure na hindi lamang lumampas sa utos, kundi sadyang itinago ang tunay na owners at beneficiaries. Mr. De Vera gave you broad authority. Sabi ni Lucia. He did not authorize you to invent ownership. Marcos answered. He signed the final documents. And you designed them so the risks were hidden in annexes. He had legal counsel. You were the CFO presenting the transaction. Wala siyang maisagot. Si Rafael Cordero ay tinanggal bilang campaign production director matapos mapatunayan ang retaliation laban kay Ana. Forged gown release at pagtatangkang pigilan ng staff na mag-preserve ng documents. Sa employee hearing, sinabi niya, I was trying to protect the schedule. Marisa Ong answered, a schedule is not more important than product safety, copyright, or employee protection. Rafael looked toward Ana. You could have raised the concern privately. I did. Sagot niya. You told me to use the product. You embarrassed production. I prevented an unverified formula from being presented to customers. The record was clear. Ana had done her job. The people above her had tried to punish her for it. Kaya hindi lamang siya pinanatili ng Lunaria. Itinaas siya bilang Director of Bridal Product Integrity and Artist Standards. Binigyan siya ng authority na huminto ng campaign kapag may product safety issue, humiling ng independent laboratory review, protektahan ang artists na nagsusumite ng good faith alerts, at direktang mag-report sa Brand Compliance Committee. Sa promotion ceremony, sinabi ni Ana kay Mila, Ma'am, hindi ko po inakalang kayo pala ang kasama ko sa makeup room. That was why your decision mattered. Sagot ni Mila, You protected the brand without knowing the owner was listening. Natakot po ako mawalan ng trabaho. You nearly did. Then the system failed. Yes. Hindi itinanggi ni Mila iyon. Ang tungkulin natin ngayon ay tiyaking sa susunod. Hindi kailangan ng founder na magtago sa backstage para maprotektahan ng empleyadong nagsabi ng totoo. Nagpatupad ang Lunaria ng bagong campaign approval system. Lahat ng major campaigns ay nangangailangan na ngayon ng brand owner authorization, product integrity clearance, designer and image rights verification, related party disclosure, customer data protection review, at independent approval kapag may executive personal relationship sa model, ambassador, o supplier. Hindi na maaaring mag-approve ng sariling fee ang isang executive. Hindi na maaaring palitan ng creative team ang formula sample ng walang laboratory record. At walang employee na maaaring tanggalin dahil lamang sa pagtangging gumamit ng produktong walang safety release. Ang bawat campaign file ay mayroon ng visible founder, designer, laboratory, at production credits. Hindi upang gawing celebrity ang lahat, kundi upang hindi na muling magmukhang isang tao lamang ang lumikha ng brand na binuo ng daan-daang kamay. Sa De Vera Lux Holdings, permanenteng tinanggal si Adrian bilang CEO at Executive Director matapos ang final board review. Kinilala ng investigators ang tunay niyang ambag. Siya ang nagpalawak ng retail network, nagdala ng lunarya sa malalaking malls, nakipagnegosasyon sa distributors, at tumulong gawing national name ang brand. Ngunit malinaw din ang violations. Hindi niya idineklara ang relasyon kay Bianca. Inaprubahan niya ang 85 million peso campaign na nagbibigay dito ng personal benefits. Nilagdaan niya ang customer data migration nang hindi sinusuri ang receiving company. Tinanggap niya ang false ownership summary nang hindi kinokonsulta ang brand owner. At sadyang iniwasang tawagan si Mila dahil alam niyang maaaring tumanggi ito. Sa final board hearing, sinabi niya, "I was misled by Marcus." Lucia nodded. "You were." "I did not know Bianca intended to remove De Vera Lux from the international structure." "That is also true." "Then I should not carry the same blame." "You do not." Adrian looked hopeful. Marcus designed the scheme. Bianca and her family intended to profit from it. "Yes." "And I was used." "Yes." "Then why remove me permanently?" Lucia opened the gala transcript. "Because before they betrayed you, you were already prepared to betray the brand owner." She read his statement. "People behind the scenes do not decide who represents the brand." Then she displayed the campaign agreement signed without Mila's consent. "You were deceived about their final plan," sabi niya. "But you knowingly used company funds, public media, and a brand you did not own to present your mistress as its future." Adrian lowered his head. "My personal failure should not erase everything I built." "It does not erase it." "Then why can I not return?" "Because leadership is not only measured by growth. It is measured by what you refuse to do when growth, pride, and personal desire point in the wrong direction." Nanatili kay Adrian ang personal shares, savings at compensation na legal niyang nakuha. Hindi kinuha ni Mila ang lahat ng pag-aari niya. Hindi rin niya pinilit ang Villanueva Group na bilhin ang shares nito sa mababang presyo. Ang financial separation ay ginawa sa independent valuation. Ngunit hindi na siya pinayagang kontrolin ang Lunaria distribution. Ang original exclusive agreement with De Vera Lux was terminated for material breach. Sa halip, pumili ang Villanueva Mason Group ng bagong multi-distributor structure. Hindi na iisang company o asawa ang may kontrol sa buong retail chain. Hiniwalay ang Metro Manila Stores, Provincial Distribution, International E-Commerce, at Bridal Studio Operations. Nagkaroon ng independent audit rights sa bawat distributor. Ang verified employees ng De Vera Lux Stores ay inalok ng transition contracts upang hindi sila mawalan ng trabaho dahil sa desisyon ng executives. Marami ang lumipat sa bagong operating companies. Ang iba ay nanatili sa De Vera Lux habang naghanap ito ng bagong brands. Hindi hinayaan ni Mila na maging kolektibong parusa ang pagtatapos ng lisensya. Hindi nagdesisyon ng sales staff na gamitin ang customer data. Sabi niya, hindi sila ang nagbigay ng maling title kay Bianca. Samantala, tuluyang naghiwalay sina Adrian at Bianca. Nang unang lumabas ang full message thread, sinubukan ni Bianca na sabihin na contingency planning lamang ang kanilang usapan. Ngunit malinaw ang linya. After the launch, Adrian takes responsibility. We keep the name, the data, and the profits. Sa huling pagkikita nila, walang cameras o wedding gowns. Nasa isang maliit na conference room lamang sila kasama ang kanilang mga abogado. You knew I would face the lawsuits, sabi ni Adrian. You knew Mila would challenge the campaign. That is not the same thing. You signed everything. Because you said we were building Lunaria together. We were building a new company. Without me, you would remain the public executive. Afache. Bianca gave a bitter laugh. You finally understand what you did to Mila. He stared at her. You think that excuses you? No. Then why say it? Because you are angry that I treated you as a useful signature. She leaned back. You treated your wife as an inconvenient signature. The words hurt because they were true. There was no reconciliation after that. Bianca lost her executive position, campaign fees, ambassador agreement, and access to Lunaria platforms. She remained a public figure. But every future brand partnership required disclosure of the investigations and invalidated campaign. The diamond ring from the shoot was returned to the Veralux because it had been purchased through a corporate executive account without a lawful personal benefit approval. Sa private mediation room, hinarap ni Mila at Adrian ang pagtatapos ng kanilang sariling kasal. Sa pagitan nila ay marital settlement, share disclosures, intellectual property acknowledgement, non-interference agreement, at ang original Lunaria distribution contract na minsan nilang pinirmahan ng may tiwala. Adrian looked at the first page. I remember this. So do I? You gave my company exclusive rights for 5 years. I believe we were building two companies that respected each other. I thought Lunaria needed me. It did need distribution. And you? I needed a husband who understood that helping me expand did not make my work his property. He looked down. I stopped seeing the difference. You stopped wanting to. I was proud of what I built. You had the right to be proud. Then why did it always feel like the Monteverde name stood above mine? Because you measured partnership as a contest. I wanted something that belonged entirely to me. So you tried to take control of something we built through a license. I told myself I had made Lunaria successful. You helped make it larger. But not mine. No. Adrian touched the page containing Mila's founder's signature. I should have recognized your voice. In the makeup room. Yes? That is not the failure that matters most. What is? You recognized that I was an employee. You simply thought that meant you could speak to me without respect. He closed his eyes. I am ashamed of that. You should be. Can you forgive me? One day, perhaps, I will stop being angry. Can we try again after that? No. Why? Because forgiveness is not the same as returning authority to someone who treated my consent as an obstacle. He looked toward the settlement. I lost the company. Bianca and you. You did not lose the Veralux. The board removed you from leadership. The company still exists. You know what I mean. Ido. Do you feel nothing? Mila was silent for several seconds. I feel grief for what we could have been. He looked at her. But grief is not a reason to remain married. They signed the final agreement. Walang sigawan. Walang dramatic na paglabas. Dalawang tao lamang na sa wakas ay gumagamit ng malinaw na dokumento at tunay na pahintulot upang tapusin ang relasyong matagal nang nilabag ng kasinungalingan. Isang taon matapos ang gala, naglunsad ang lunarya ng bagong campaign. Hindi ito tinawag na New Era. Ang pangalan nito ay Mga Kamay sa Likod ng Liwanag. Hindi celebrity couple ang sentro. Tampok dito ang makeup artists, cosmetic chemists, Filipino bridal designers, store consultants, production assistants, laboratory technicians, at tunay na brides mula sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Pilipinas. Si Ana ang nanguna sa makeup team. Si Marisa ang nagpakita ng product verification process. Ang mga designer ay nakatanggap ng malinaw na individual credits. At sa unang pagkakataon, personal na lumitaw si Mila sa final campaign film bilang founder. Hindi siya nakasuot ng wedding gown. Nasa loob siya ng original Lunaria Laboratory. Hawak ang unang lipstick shade na ginawa niya kasama ang kanyang ina. Sa launch event, tinanong siya ng isang reporter, "Bakit po kayo nagkunwaring makeup assistant? To learn what they would say in front of someone they believed had no power?" Ano pong narinig ninyo? That they believed the brand belonged to the person standing in front of the camera. Hindi po ba? Mila looked toward Anna and the team preparing a bride for the live demonstration. A face can introduce a brand. She gestured toward the chemists, designers, and artists. But these people create the trust that allows the face to represent it. Adrian once said that people backstage do not decide. Yes. What would you say to him now? Mila smiled slightly. Before anyone can stand beneath the lights, someone must build the stage, test the products, sew the gown, protect the data, and tell the truth when something is wrong. Do you regret staying hidden for so long? Yes. Why? Because silence gave other people room to rewrite the story? Will you remain the public face of Lunaria? I will remain visible enough that no one can erase the founder again. And the most important lesson. Mila looked toward the old Maya Reyes badge displayed inside a small glass case beside the original Lunaria trademark certificate. A title may tell people who has authority. She picked up the badge. But how you treat someone before you know her title reveals who you are. Sa dulo ng event, lumapit si Ana. "Ma'am, bakit ninyo itinago ang badge?" Because Adrian looked at this and believed the person wearing it had no right to speak. And now, Mila placed it beside the founder certificate. Now it reminds everyone that the person holding the brush may understand the brand better than the person holding the microphone. Sa malaking screen, lumitaw ang final line ng campaign. Lunaria, created by many hands, protected by every voice. Hindi na kailangang gamitin ni Mila ang isang pekeng kasal upang ibenta ang pangarap ng isang bride. Hindi na kailangang burahin ang pangalan ng founder upang magmukhang bago ang brand. At hindi na kailangang manahimik ang mga empleyado upang mapanatili ang trabaho. Sa gabing iyon, bumalik si Mila sa harap ng sarili niyang tatak. Hindi bilang asawang humihingi ng lugar sa tabi ng CEO. Hindi bilang makeup assistant na inaasahang yumuko at sumunod. Kundi bilang founder na sa wakas ay handang sabihin sa buong industriya. Ang Lunaria ay hindi pag-aari ng taong pinakamalakas magsalita sa stage. Ito ay pag-aari ng mga taong lumikha. Nagprotekta at tumangging ibenta ang pangalan nito kapalit ng isang magandang kasinungalingan.